Hello, my friends. This is Teacher JB. We are going to study WH questions with to be in past tense. WH questions with to be in past tense, and the content is from the book In Focus. There are 5 WH question words: who, what, why, when, and where. And there is one H word which is how. These words can be used in questions with to be in the past. The structure will be question word plus was or were, and then the subject. If the subject is singular, we use was. If the subject is plural, we use were, and then if we need, we can put some complement with a question mark. Look at the first sentence. Why? We have a WH word and then be verb. We use was here because the train is singular. So this is the subject, verb, and then question word. Why was the train late? When we have a question word, the question, we cannot answer with yes or no. We have to provide the information. So why was the train late? For example, we can say there was an accident. There was an accident. Okay, that's why the train was late. Okay, second question, how, the question word, was the verb, past the verb, and the movie is singular, the subject singular, so we use was. And how was the movie? Again, we have to give the information. So we can say it was good or it was bad. Now, who was at the meeting? Who was at the meeting? Again, here, this is the question word. At the same time, this becomes the subject. And then since we do not know how many people there were, we can use singular verb. Who was at the meeting? So we can say John was at the meeting or somebody else was at the meeting. Next question. Where was John last night? Where is the question word asking about the place or location? And then was, because John is singular. So this is the subject and the verb. Where was John last night? And we can say he was at home, he was at school, or something like that. Next question. What were the best songs? The best songs, so this is plural and the subject plural, so we use were. What were the best songs? So you can say they were this song and that song. When is talking about the time. When were the cars made? The subject is the cars, that's why we use were. When were the cars made? The cars were made in 18th century. Or you can just like, I don't know when it was made. So you can give the exact answer if you know. And how many suitcases were there in the car? Now this one we can use how many suitcases. This is a plural number. So we use how many suitcases were in the car. So we can say there were 5 suitcases. And how many people? We use how many because people is plural. At the same time, this is countable. And we use were because people is plural. How many were? How many people were at the show? We can say there are a lot of people. How much sugar? Now, sugar is uncountable, so we use how much. How much sugar was in the recipe? We can say 1 spoonful or 2 spoonfuls of sugar or something like that. And money is not countable, so we use how much, and then this is the question word. How much money? and there was the verb, and in your wallet. So I had only $5 or something like that. Okay, let us read the story. The title is My Mom Had Lots of Questions. Where were you? My mom asked me this question when I came home late. She had another question. Who was with you? The other day I was late for school and my mom asked me this question. Why were you late for school? She asked me more questions. How was the food? How was the date? After my phone conversation with my friend, she always asked me, what was it about? Or who was on the phone? She really had lots of questions for me. Okay, in these exercises, ask appropriate questions using WH words and past tense be words. The train was late because of an accident. Okay, so we can ask the question. First of all, we need to put reason why, and then train is singular, was, subject, the train, and then we need a complement, late. Why was the train late? So we can say there was an accident. There were 3 books on the table. So 3 books. So it's talking about the quantity of the books. So how, and then books we can count. How many books? Okay. How many books? And we need a verb, and then books is plural. How many books were the complement on the table? How many books were on the table? The meeting was in New York. In New York, so this is the location. So we use the word where. Where, and then after this we need a verb. The meeting is singular, so we use where was the meeting. Where was the meeting? The meeting was in New York. The food was great. Okay, it's talking about how the food was. So the question will be how, and then it's a food, and food is singular here. So how was the food? How was the food? And the food was great. The weather was terrible. It's talking about how the weather was. So we put how again. How, and then the weather is singular. So how was the weather? How was the weather? It says the weather was terrible. Tom was in Costa Rica during his vacation. So this is talking about the place, or you can talk about the time. But here, let's put the place first. Where, okay, where, and Tom is the subject, singular, so where was Tom? Where was Tom during his vacation? During his vacation. Where was Tom during his vacation? He was in Costa Rica during his vacation. Okay, you can even ask when was Tom here in Costa Rica? If you want, you can make this question as well. When was Tom in Costa Rica? He was in Costa Rica during his vacation. Okay. I was Sam's house. I was at Sam's house doing my homework. So this is talking about Sam's house and the place. So where, and then the subject is I. So I was. So the question will be, where were you? Where were you? And you can say, I was at Sam's house doing my homework. If you want, you can say, what were you doing? Okay, this is past progressive. So what were you doing? I was doing my homework. You can answer that. I was in San Francisco for a conference. So it's talking about the location. So location is where, and then I was will be were you. Where were you? For a conference. Where were you for a conference? Or you can just say, where were you? That's enough. Where were you? And then you can say, I was in San Francisco for a conference. Okay, this is the conclusion of today's study, and I'll come back to you with another topic as soon as possible. Until then, keep studying English and have a great day. Bye.